where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Here locally in the community, make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokking.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Lions Talk with Smokking Jeremy B. It's War Week, and I have Woody, Bear Down of Palace Hall Report here with me because I like him. He's a realistic Bears fan. We've talked all throughout the season, really, on various platforms, but never on this one. So I figured since the game is tomorrow, this would be a great way to do a pregame show. Woody, welcome to Lions Talk. How are you doing today?
Good, JB. Thanks for inviting me. You want to so call it a game tomorrow, but yes, tomorrow is the game. But easy win for you guys. I'm telling you.
I don't think there's an easy win. Our easiest win in this division has been the Packers, and that's crazy to say because they're playing good ball at 8-3.
Yep.
I mean, but if they didn't get that garbage time touchdown and 2-point conversion, we'd have beat them like we did the Colts.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody
games are always,
and that's why we don't go to that zone defense in the fourth quarter. We stopped doing it because of that game.
Oh, you mean the Bears do, like last week in overtime?
Like the Bears,
we'll play the
Packers,
we'll play the cover
like the
too.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Yep. We do the cover tier too as well, but we don't. We do it as in that. What is that one? The cover 2 man zone defense. They call it.
They're a Tampa 2.
Yeah, where you're playing man coverage underneath, but your safeties are in 2 high zone. That's what we play.
Yeah, and the whole middle is fucking open, all of it.
No.
That's what happened last week.
Not when you do man coverage underneath, is what I'm saying. We don't run the zone with the corners and the linebackers. We just run the zone with it's a Tampa 2 man zone defense. The only people in zone is either one guy in the flat on the defensive line, and that's just to protect against the screen, and then the 2 safeties. Everybody else is playing man coverage. Who's popping in? Can't tell. They have. Oh, of course.
Ken.
It's Ken Dobie.
Hey, I was just back. I was just going to listen to you guys while I did some things, but that's okay.
Okay, I'll put you back there. That's fine.
I'll have the camera off. But I just mostly wanted to hear. Good morning, Woody.
What's up, Ken? How are you?
Preparing for Turkey Day.
Yeah, for trying. What do we prepare for? You know what I'm
Well, I
saying?
mean, I'm
So
talking about for the family and the food stuff. And
I
look,
got you.
the one thing I will say, I didn't say it on the last show, is I'm happy the game is like a 11:05, 12:05 in the East. I'm happy we got, yeah, because it's going to be before dinner. We're going to be able to enjoy the game. I'm digging that because I wouldn't, if we had the 3 o'clock game, the middle game, that's probably during dinner, and I'm missing it. And if it's a late game, well, we're probably all taking a nap and missing that. So I'm just happy we got the early game. But you guys thought I'm going to do some things in the background.
Okay.
Also,
Go
hey,
ahead.
Lions Twitter, man, you're watching. I see you watching every day. Make some comments. Show some JB some love here on X there.
Yeah, we
We're
will see
live.
your comments.
Yep, we're live in Lions Twitter. So drop my boy JB some love here.
Thank you, Ken. I'll put you back in the back, sir.
Thank you.
Bye. But no, but there's some things you guys are doing well. I was looking, you guys are 22nd in scoring, the Lions are first. I think that was the biggest disparity. You know, you're averaging 20.1 points per game, and the Lions are averaging 32.7. I think we've only scored less than 30 in I think 4 games this year. In the second half of games since Hutchinson went down, it's been an amazing run. Now remember, Dallas scored their 3rd field goal before Hutchinson got hurt in that Dallas game. And I'm putting this out here because I want people to realize that since that moment, that 1 quarter, in the next 6 games they played, they've only given up 27 second half points in 6 games.
Now, why is that? Aiden Hutchinson's out. I know you guys, Zadarius Smith and stuff like that. So what's the reason?
Adjustments. We increased our blitz rate. Before Aiden Hutchinson was hurt, we only had to blitz 14.6% of the time. We've increased that to where we're averaging 46.7, which means we've increased it to over 50%. So we went from last in the league in blitz rate to top 10. So that's the biggest thing, and that's by scheme. We're doing more pressures in different ways. We are still one of the top 10 teams in pressures. We're not one of the top 10 teams in sacks because we lost the production of Aiden Hutchinson, but we're still getting it done in different ways. There's somebody stepping up every week, getting pressures on quarterbacks. We're averaging 6 QB hits a game since Aiden Hutchinson went down. Does anybody realize this?
Well, the thing is that especially tomorrow with the Bears offensive line, all these teams have to do is all these defensive coordinators, coaches are drooling because of our offensive line. So tomorrow is going to be, I wouldn't be surprised, 47% pressuring on Caleb tomorrow.
And it's specifically, it's the center and guard play.
Yep.
That's been the worst for the Bears this year. The tackles haven't been horrible. It's not defensive ends that are lighting up Caleb. It's pressure coming from in between, and when he rolls out, that's when a defensive end gets them. This is what I've been observing.
So you're saying McNeil's going to have a field day tomorrow?
McNeil and Reed are both probably, and splash in maybe Wingo. And we have that next man up mentality. Every time we lose somebody, they said, "Oh God, how are they going to recover from this?" We do.
You know, I'm not worried about defensive line. I remember last year, the one game. How many times was Branch in that backfield?
Oh,
it's like Gordon. It's like Gordon for us. I love when Gordon does that. He played great last week, Kyler Gordon. But Branch is what I'm worried about.
And Branch has actually developed into a better coverage guy than what he was last year, and he was good.
Hey, JB, one minor correction. The center play for Chicago this year versus last year has been a stark contrast in reality. Last year, we couldn't get a center who could not keep a score out of the red on PFF. Shelton has been playing levels above what we were getting last year. The beginning of the season was still a little rough until they figured it out. But once Shelton took over the center position in Chicago, the center was no longer the focal point of contention. Last year, it was the worst point of contention for pressures on the quarterback came from the center position. That is not the case anymore. So it has gotten better.
Don't get me wrong. It has. I didn't say it didn't improve. I'm saying the combination of guard play with center play is the problem with the Bears O-line. It's not just one; it's both.
Yeah, because if one's short, the other's got to try to compensate, and then they screw up, and it's a snowball effect. It's gotten better the last couple weeks. I think part of that's also because of the play calling, getting rid of the ball faster, but also the personnel group I think is a little bit better the last couple weeks as it had been. Mostly
Wow.
it's on the right guard, not the left guard. Tevin Jenkins, when he's in, is phenomenal. The problem is keeping Tevin Jenkins in for a full game.
There's off Bears lines. Daniel Jones plans to sign with the Vikings practice squad.
He signed already.
Oh yeah,
yes.
we broke that.
I broke that.
Yeah.
We broke that this morning.
You broke it this morning? Wow. Okay. Yeah, but again, the defense has just put now Caleb's been doing a lot like the last 2 weeks, and Ken, you might know this, or JB, because you know have the stats and stuff like that. Caleb's been getting the ball out quicker.
Right.
And I said this last week, and I'm like, you know what? It seems like these players just quit on Waldron. Yep. And it seems like it's a lot better play calling. These guys are having fun. We just can't win the close games. Plain and simple. So that's what he has to do tomorrow.
Harpazzo, I don't think all Bear fans are in denial. A lot of them realize coming into this season, oh, I've had a rough night. I had a family member pass away. I'll get that up now. Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. Sorry for your loss.
It was my great aunt. It was basically the last one of my grandma's family who passed away. She passed away in 2011. So basically, it's a sad time.
Yeah, and tomorrow is the first holiday without my dad. He passed away 6 months ago, and honor to him. It's the first time ever I'm going to wear another team's jersey, so I'm wearing a Dallas Cowboy jersey for him on the second game tomorrow.
Well, I'll be the good news. Tomorrow is the first Thanksgiving with the baby, because last year he was a newborn, just born, so we didn't get to have it. So tomorrow will be the first Thanksgiving with the grandchild. So there's some positivity with all the sorrow that we're having here today.
Amen. Yep. That's okay. And my condolences to anybody who's lost anybody this time of year. And I want to offer them also to my co-host, Dan Leonard, who may or may not be there tonight, because this is the anniversary of his mother's passing. So if he doesn't want to be on the show, I completely get it. And Dwayne, we kind of knew this was coming, because I had a feeling he was going to miss at least 4 weeks with that foot injury he had when he wasn't able to come back in the game. Decker more than likely is going to miss this game. There's some people that I'm waiting to see who hit the limited practice for walkthroughs today. Because normally it's a day off, but on a short week, it's a walkthrough day on Wednesday. I'm
worried about St. Brown. So any update on him, because I have him on my fantasy.
He's playing. You got nothing to worry about there, brother. He's on mine too. I've been watching it.
Yeah. So far the Bears have Hicks. He did not practice, and obviously Bates left practice yesterday. Probably still showing concussion symptoms.
I meant to put this up last night, though, because of the short week. Monty has been at full practice since yesterday. He was limited.
He'll be playing.
He'll be playing. That's why they held him out of the second half. I don't know if anybody noticed, but he came out in full gear and stood on the sidelines. They just didn't put him in because he wants to make sure he gets more revenge on the Bears.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I'm worried about too. Bears have a lot of missed tackles the last couple of weeks, and Monty with his breaking tackles, I don't think Goff might not be throwing a lot tomorrow the way Gibbs and Monty are running for them.
I just posted the the image of the pick'em sheet for the people in the contest that's been on my show. Now that there's only 1 week left, there's no sense in anybody jumping in now. You have no shot to win more wins than somebody who has a 70% hit rate so far.
Right.
And that's Sarah. Sarah, the Vikings fan. She's been tearing it up.
Yeah, she's a smart cookie.
She is. I love when Sarah comes in and comments, but she hasn't been here today. I don't know if somebody
Just
anchored
took the day off.
Donkey Kong. Oh yeah, I forgot Monty was a bear. LOL. Why did he luck out coming here? Because the Lions were smart enough to offer Monty the exact same amount of money they offered Jamal Williams when he turned it down to go make less for the Saints. And Monty accepted it. That is something else. Oh, there she is, Sarah.
There's Sarah.
Good morning,
Hey, congrats
Sarah.
on congrats last week on your win. It was a wow, that was a wild finish.
What I'm concerned about that I saw in that overtime, the fourth quarter, Caleb was doing everything he had been doing the last couple of weeks, getting the ball out faster and doing it. Oh yeah, you're winning. You're ahead still by 4. So I think you got it unless you screw the pooch this week. That's where you're at, Sarah.
Wow.
If
Hey,
screw the
JB,
pooch
I
on the
got
pick.
I got a jet. Thanks for having me on.
Hey,
I'll
no
see you
problem,
tonight.
Ken. What is
All
your
right,
score
Ken.
prediction for the? What's your score prediction,
Oh,
Ken? Before you take
I'm
off.
gonna do mine tonight on Hal's Hall Report.
Okay, fine.
I'll see you guys at Hal's Hall Report tonight. Have a good one, Woody. Have a good one, JB. I'll see you on Friday,
too.
probably. All right, have a great one, guys. I'll see you later.
You too.
Congratulations, Sarah. You picked up your future backup quarterback because it looks like Nick Mullins might be on his way out. You guys signed Daniel Jones to your practice squad.
Let me tell you, had a big first down throw. Well, I mean, it was a easy slant by Jones, but he came in 3rd and 13. Could have held him, could have punted, and it could have been screwed. But Vikings did what they had to do to win, and they did.
Yeah. What's Sarah's pick? Put it in the comments, Sarah. Are you picking the Lions or are you picking the Bears to win this week?
She wants to pick the Bears, but no.
Am I saying they can't win? I will never say that. Because we've all seen it.
It's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy year with upsets and stuff like that, but Detroit's hungry because they haven't won on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And
I think the last time the Bears played Detroit, is that when Swift dropped that easy touchdown pass in the end zone?
Yes. And that is what I warned Bears fans about coming into this year. I said, Swift has only dropped touchdown passes in Chicago. Watch out.
He hasn't dropped any.
Thank God. But what I do want to announce, I'll let you know after a couple of rounds of Grey Goose who wins. We are not wearing the throwbacks this year. We are wearing the blueberries, and as you can see, the Madden patch has already been added. So that is your Thanksgiving game day thread for people. They only put those on the Thanksgiving Day game stuff. And when I saw that picture posted by Detroit Lions today, I was like, yes! Because we've only won when we haven't worn the throwbacks on Thanksgiving. The last time we didn't wear throwbacks on Thanksgiving, we beat the Vikings.
You should wear those uniforms at the snow game at Philly that one year.
Yeah.
Oh, the Philly uniforms were like, oh God, ugliest I ever seen.
But where the Bears are almost as good at is scoring defense. We give up 16.6 points per game with only 17 touchdowns against. The Bears are 8th at 19.7 and 21. Sarah, I agree with you on that one. The running defense is where they're lacking. And also on missed tackle rate.
Yep.
Missed tackle rate, the disparity is huge. Bears
Even
are
e-
in the top 5 in missed tackle.
and even sacks.
Wins and losses are all about the uniforms. Laughing my no, it's more than that. I'm just saying this made me happy to see.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'm a big Eagles hater, but
What
I
I
am.
can say is right now, the 2 best teams in the league at 25 plus yard plays are Philly and Detroit. And that is something the Bears have struggled with is explosive plays from an offense. So while you can sit here and say whatever else, that zone defense that you do have a tendency to run, I can see where a slant becomes like a 60-yard touchdown for Jameson Williams this week.
Well, it was just that
Or
easy slant to Jones last week to get that first down.
right.
But that's where the Bears are lacking. I want to see. We got to develop our offensive line better. So hopefully he gets some time. Caleb does not throw it down the field. I wanted to see his longest throw, but it's not like DJ Moore was burning people and he threw it down the field on a bomb. So he doesn't throw it. He likes to keep it within 10, 20
Thank you,
yards.
Will. I do want to say the other big news that we got this week, other than people who went to IR and people who didn't and stuff like that, and signings across the league, we got some huge news locally. Per Wayne County prosecutors on Monday night, early Tuesday, Jameson Williams will not be facing concealed weapons charges and will not have an arrest warrant issued for the incident on October 8th, 2024. And it kind of went down exactly as I predicted. If they'd have handed him at least a ticket that night, that would have showed that there was cause for a warrant to be issued, even a warning ticket. They didn't issue a ticket. That was the biggest thing. At
Well, at
the
least he
incident.
wasn't betting, JB.
Amen. So, because there's no arrest, no civil infraction with the warning ticket, and no arrest warrant to be issued, more than likely the NFL is going to do the same thing the Lions are. Okay, it's done. Nothing legal here. You know what I mean? If there was any type of thing that would have made it an illegal thing and made it so they could arrest him, they would have. Let's not be. Yep, he does have to keep his nose clean though, Brent. But at the same time, there was lots of details left out about that whole transaction. We never heard if the gun was loaded or not. We never heard if he had a scheduled CCW permit class scheduled. We never heard any of this stuff. And as a matter of fact, national media ran with the story that it was an unregistered gun when that was never the case. Because that's the thing I've heard over and over again outside of Lions people. Is it was an unregistered gun. No, it was registered. That was the biggest reason why he was let go. And I bet you he does have a class scheduled after the season is over. Because it's not just a 1-day class like everybody thinks it is.
Yeah, NFL doesn't tolerate that. That's what I like about it.
So if it had been an unregistered gun, JMO would have been in jail that night because that's a felony. There is nothing any cop can say at that point. Apparently, we are now the Center for QB Rehabilitation. Oh, she has some good ones every now and then. But yeah, scoring offense, like I said, it's second. I mean, first versus 22nd. There's your big disparity. That's why Vegas put that line at 10.5. Why? Because it's a line that the Bears can cover, but it's a line they expect the Lions to reach. Does that make sense? That's
Yep.
They're very smart on how they do this. If you look at it, that's exactly where the line should be statistically, with the differences between defense and offense on both teams. That's exactly where the line should be to give both teams a shot at covering it. Now,
Yeah, Vegas
if
knows what they're talking about.
if we end up doing like we've done 7 times this season so far and go BTA, and that's belt to ass, the Bears have no shot.
No, they have no shot anyway. I'm very realist, and our season unfortunately is over already with us having the toughest schedule in this second half.
What's weird is, I hear people saying the same thing about the 49ers, but if you actually look at their schedule, it levels out and they get easier till they face the Lions in week 17. There's a difference between your schedule getting harder and your schedule getting easier.
Yeah, we got them next week.
It was his brother's car. His brother was driving. If the gun was unregistered, his brother would have been in trouble. And he would have been too, because it was his unregistered gun. That's what I was getting at, Michael Hug. Both of them would have been in trouble if it was an unregistered gun. Number one, the person who possessed it. Number two, the guy with the CCW that let an unregistered gun get in his car. They both would have went to jail that night, because that's felony ground. Woody, I heard Eberflus is coming back next season.
Fuck you. And I and people know me. I don't care if I can say it on the show or can't. No. Why?
I'm with you. I was like,
really?
Man, after he made the exact same speech that you heard in 2013 by Mark Trestman about the blocked field goal from 40 plus yards, then you fast forward another 6 years, Matt Nagy makes the same exact speech about the Cody Parkey double doink. And now you hear the exact same words. And it wasn't a misstep. It was the same message. The only thing that was is how it was worded English-wise. They were stacking the box against the run. That's why we didn't make another play and allowed the clock to run down to call a timeout to try a 46-yard field goal. It was the exact same distance.
Yep.
The exact same situation. And yeah, I heard that too, Mike.
I like Santos too, but me and Ken were talking. Like this year, these field goal kickers, it's like 50 to 55 is like an extra point to them. 54 or 53 is Santos's longest.
Right.
So we need somebody with a foot. But he's 100% with 40 and below. So
yep. And it does break down right where Ken said it's 48. 48 and under, he's money. As soon as he gets past 48, that's when it drops off. And the percentage is less than 76 then. If you actually look, he's money from 40 to 48. As soon as he hits 49 to 54, it drops to 58%.
Yeah,
I've done the stats.
That kick against Green Bay, you could see it was a little low.
And it was versus the Vikings too. The one
but last week, it was the same exact spot too.
Yeah.
That's why, and nobody agrees with me, against Green Bay, we had 30 seconds left. We should have either A, ran for a couple yards, and I understand there could be a fumble, whatever. That's assuming. Or Caleb should have just took the ball and lined it up in the middle like some quarterbacks do, so he has a straight shot, not an angle.
Exactly. I agree.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Sarah's great. Everybody in this chat that we have, all of you guys. And I'm sorry I'm not addressing it because we're having more of a conversation. Normally I'm solo and I'm able to address the chat like boom, boom, boom. How much does it matter kicking outdoors versus indoors? A lot. Indoors, you have no wind. There's none of that. You have a set humidity level. There's all sorts of things that makes it exactly the same. Even if if Denver was a dome, it
You kick
wouldn't
it
make
from
as
80.
much of a much of a difference as it is outside. If they were in a dome, people would be making 85-yard field goals.
Yeah. Yep.
It would be Justin Tucker, Jake Bates, and Fairbairn making 80, and Aubrey, the kid from Dallas. Those guys would be making 85-yard field goals. Everybody else would be hitting it from 70.
Yep. And the Hail
Am
Marys will
I?
be 82. So
Oh yeah, the Hail Marys. God, that's why I said the Packers were stupid to not take that trade that was offered for Russell Wilson like they offered for Aaron Rodgers back then.
thank you,
Can
Brent.
you imagine? Can you imagine if Aaron Rodgers was throwing every home game in that thin air in Denver? If there isn't a wind, he's throwing it 90 yards down the field.
Or that Hail Mary versus Detroit, but we won't bring that up.
No, you can bring it up. That's fine. I know about that Hail Mary.
Well, I know about a Hail Mary this year that shouldn't have happened. Thank you, Stevenson, to get your head.
Yeah,
in
it's a Doink Mary.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
as much as I hate to say it, that's what he gets for clowning fans of another team while the play's still going on the field.
Right.
You pay attention to the game until the whistle blows. How many times have we seen stupid plays like that where somebody's not paying attention and gets burnt? And in history.
Well, there would have been a few changes that if I was coach, and a Hail Mary's all luck. What I would have done when I was the Bears defense, I would have rushed 3, not 4, to have that extra person in the back, have taller guys back there, have receivers back there. Keenan Allen should have been back there.
And
But
I've said on both of those Hail Marys that Rodgers beat the Lions to take the division away from them. And that's 2011 and 2014. Both times Calvin
Megatron.
Johnson should have been at safety.
Yep. And we have the tallest receiver in the league, but he's on the practice squad, Johnson. So we called him up, but not for the Packer game, but he would have been perfect in there.
I knew Rodgers would be done as soon as I heard he was going to New York. I didn't think he was mentally tough enough to handle the criticism of the media,
Yep.
and that's what it's
Yep.
looking like.
Ask Randy Johnson when he signed with the Yankees.
Oh, we're Packer haters here.
Oh God.
And one of the things Woody loves, and I know he's watched my show before because I've seen him comment, is he loves the way I do the division breakdown at the end using the fuck the whoever. And the fuck the Packers ones is the best.
Yepper. Yepper.
I remember the first time you saw that, he goes, "This is fucking great."
Yeah, great. This is awesome. Sign me up.
Anyway, what's the biggest troll than sitting there after everybody said, "Oh, they won't do it a second year in a row," and the Lions are still sitting atop the division after 13 or 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And no, everybody said, and not you, Woody, I'm talking about everybody else on all those shows, said the Lions wouldn't be there for long. They've never had back-to-back 10-plus win seasons. Never say never.
Yeah, well, what I said in the beginning of the year, I said they're going to be fighting with Green Bay for the division, but they're going to end up winning division by 2 games at the end of the year. That's what I said.
I gave 2 scenarios. And the first scenario I said, it was right. If Darnold is better than everybody thinks he is, the Vikings will be in second place in this division. I said, if he's exactly who everybody thinks he is, they'll be either third or fourth. And I said that was purely based off of how good their defense, their O-line, and their weapons are around Sam Darnold. I didn't bash them. I didn't say they'd be last. I said they'd be competing with it because the one team that I didn't think did enough was the Bears because of their O-line situation. And I said that all the way. And you even said the same thing.
Yep,
He goes,
yep.
I don't care if we'd have drafted Jaden Daniels. We probably still wouldn't be good.
No.
because of the O-line. And the luxury pick of taking a Dunze at 9 when there was good offensive tackles that are starting right now in the NFL on the board for other teams proves our point.
I would still would have kept Fields and maybe went up after Joe Alt. And I know he got picked, 7th or 8th. And I would have loved him on the team as well.
Look at Jim Jackson. He's giving all sorts of hate to Darnold.
Wow.
But you know what? You know what Darnold did last week? He got the ball with 90 yards to get into field goal range. And he became Darnold Schwarzenegger. Take my hand. Get in the chopper.
Yeah, Choppa.
The scriptwriter messed up and sent the wrong New York QB to the Vikings. Oh, you wanted DeVito.
No, she wanted Drew Lock.
Drew Lock has only been as good of a QB as Daniel Jones without the athleticism.
Yeah, I know. It's like a Zach Wilson.
She wanted Tommy DeVito so Tommy Cutlets could save the Vikings.
So, Sarah, you saying you like Italians? Well, hey. Well, I'm Sicilian. We have the better pizza.
It's funny. My grandfather on my mother's side, his family was from Sicily.
Yep.
I want to say thank you again, fans. We added another subscriber overnight. We're at 536 on Kneecap Biting the Motor City Lions. Yeah, Joe Alt went 5th in the draft. What he's saying is he'd have rather kept Fields and taken Joe Alt at 1.
Yep.
And it's something that I kicked around.
Yep.
I think because you're talking about the Aaron Rodgers trade to the Jets happened last season. The Russell Wilson trade happened 2 seasons before that, right?
No.
Or the season before.
The Pittsburgh?
No. To Denver.
Oh, yeah. That was...
It was 2 seasons.
2 or 3 seasons ago. Yep.
Yeah, because they ended up with... From the picks they got in that trade, they ended up with Kenneth Walker. They ended up with Jackson Smith-Njigba. They ended up with some great players that were basically handed to them. And they were basically handed half a practice squad. They were handed Drew Lock. They were handed Noah Fant. They were handed a defensive tackle and a player to be named later, which ended up being a safety, a UDFA safety. Yoli Cruz.
What's up, Yoli?
That's our top Packer fan that comes in. I got to give her love,
And all her brothers are Bears fans. That's funny.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to make the comments I usually make in that situation. Because I don't want to be rude to my guests. But, your guy that does the other stuff, the shorts all the time on TikTok, Dave Swirsky.
Oh.
That guy cracks me up. Did you see the latest one?
No.
The Bears lost to the tune of every morning there's a halo hanging around the corner.
Oh, Sugar Ray.
Yeah, he did it, and he called it the Bears lost, and he
jeez,
all sorts of a cappella in it, not a lot of instruments.
Is that the guy that has sometimes he mirrors himself? He has 3 of them. I don't. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Yeah, I see him.
He's very musically talented to do what he does.
Yep. If Denver makes it in the playoffs, it will be a headache. See, there are 3 teams that shocked me this year that really impressed me. One, of course, is Minnesota. No one thought they'd be where they are. Nobody. I don't care who you are. Not even Rob Haspel's. San Diego or the Chargers, LA Chargers, with all their losses, all their players they lost, I was surprised, Jim Harbaugh. And Denver, with all the guys they lost as well. So this year is a little bit weird, but it's good.
Sarah, I love it. I've been on ESPN Chicago. There's a Caleb Civil War going on in there. Well, there's been a Caleb Civil War going on in the Huddle Sports Network all season between Woody and Ken.
Yep, absolutely.
And I do agree a different quarterback might be better. I didn't know if Fields was that bad, and the fact that Fields went 3-1 as a starter, and mostly due to his legs, not because of his arm. Let's not get it twisted. It was just like it was in Chicago, but with better coaching.
And weren't two of those wins Pittsburgh had all field goals?
Yep. Yeah. Like I said,
Yeah.
It was just like Chicago, but with better coaching.
Yep.
That's all you can say about it. And technically a better defense, because the Steelers have been a better defense all year.
I still think they I know it was weird because Justin Fields was their quarterback winning games.
Right.
But they didn't want to give up that fourth pick to us, so they started Russell Wilson.
I think it was a little bit of that, and plus the fact that they think that Russell is a more complete quarterback than Justin Fields at this time. And the proof was, in those 4 games, he only completed 1 pass to a wide receiver for a touchdown. All the passes to touchdowns was either a screen pass or a check down to a tight end.
And I wanted to say thank you, Sarah, because the Vikings finally scored a second half touchdown by a running back. They were on the longest streak with that.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. Because Aaron Jones scored that second half touchdown. But you know what? It surprised me too. We stopped Justin Jefferson, but I said in the house hall that all the attention is going to be on him. And Addison had a great game.
And you're absolutely right. You know what the 2024 draft class may end up being? Just like the 2004 draft class, where the first round picks were 4 guys, and only one of them ended up not getting a Super Bowl berth, even.
Mhm.
And that's Phillip Rivers. Wait, no, Phillip Rivers went to the Super Bowl and lost, didn't he? Versus Steve Young, right?
Chargers and
Niners.
Niners. Checked up on that. I'm old.
I don't remember. I'm old too. I forget. You know, we're in our 50s. We forget things.
I just turned 48 on Saturday.
Oh, you just turned 48. So you're just a youngin'.
Oh yeah, I feel it. Yeah,
compared to me. How's that?
Yeah, but I check up on that because I do like Phillip Rivers when he was NC State and all that stuff. I was comparing him to Dan Marino. It's one of those quarterbacks that never won a Super Bowl, but they were like awesome. So I was comparing Phillip Rivers to Dan Marino. It was a totally different football back then when Dan Marino played, but
nope, he never did. He's the only one that did not play in a Super Bowl out of those guys. Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning. Who was there? There was another one that made it and lost too. Who was the other one?
And in 04?
Who was the other one? Or was it just the 3? The closest he got was 2007 when he threw that pick that cost him the game versus the Patriots.
Thank you, Sarah.
He does have 5 playoff wins in his repertoire. That's more than Dak. Phillip Rivers.
Ay, Dallas. Played good last week, though.
Yeah, but they can only play good on the road. Why do they shit the bed at home? It makes no goddamn sense.
Might be that 100-yard TV screen they have. They have to look up at it all the time. I don't know. I can't.
Pretty.
Yeah. But I get you were saying about the booing at home and stuff like that. I still pick Dallas tomorrow. You're welcome, Dad. But New York played good there when they were, Eli.
You know what? I'm not going to be surprised if the Giants win, though. That defense is nasty. You say what you want about the offense, the defense is nasty. And the Dallas defense can't stop a cold at home.
No. Yeah.
So I'm really torn. Do I pick the Giants? Because I think they're going to shit the bed again. Just because that's what the Cowboys do.
Where do they have them at?
The only game they kept it close was the Ravens.
Yeah. Lions, they downed it. It's 9.5 now.
Oh, it moved down. Hallelujah. I felt better about that number.
And Cowboys were favored by 3.5. This is a surprise.
It went down to 1.5.
Packers are only favored by 3 at home in that cold weather over Miami. Wow.
I mean, in a way, she's right. They don't call a lot of passing plays there in San Diego. It's a run-first offense now that Jim Harbaugh's there.
And the largest spread is Chiefs over the Raiders, 13.
And I think the Raiders might cover that because they always play the Chiefs hard, no matter how bad their team is.
Even at Kansas City.
Yeah. Remember, they almost beat them last year in Kansas City.
Well, Kansas City almost lost to Carolina last week.
Carolina has got these goggles focused on the Super Bowl, and they're losing vision of what's right in front of them.
Yeah.
And they're playing to that type of level. All right, we're going to win it, guys. Let's go out and play. Have fun.
Yeah, that's what the call your own plays. It's like Varsity Blues. Call your own plays. Huh.
Well, right now, even if they beat the Cowboys, guess what? The coin flip will probably give the Giants the first pick still. I've heard they want Cam Ward more than they. Oh, you meant the bad McCarthy. Yeah.
Well, Sanders, if you've seen his that uncalled pass, oh my God, last week.
After he threw that pass when he's just standing there.
Yeah, the NFL, he would have been fined, 15-yard penalty, get the hell out. Yeah,
that guy
absolutely.
might be suspended for that hit because that was an intentional try to take somebody out for their career type of hit.
Yeah, and when Tua came back, that second game he came back, he took a knee to the head. So
hey,
I'm all against that. He should have been forced retired.
Can we really say Tua is playing out of his mind since his mind is scrambled like eggs from the concussions? He's playing like they knocked some sense back into him.
Yep. Yep.
I called for this 12 to 14 win season before the season started. Because Woody asked me, he goes, "What do you expect?" I said, "I kind of don't expect anything less win wise than last year, despite the first place schedule." I told you this in the preseason when we talked on Ken and Ken that morning. I said, at worst, they might drop to 11 wins, and I think that still wins the division.
Yeah, I said to be 13-4 when I gave my standings and stuff like that. So,
but I said I didn't see where 14-3 was out of the realm of possibility. But the most likely was 12-5 or 13-4 out of all of them. Yeah. Every time I look through it, I mean, we're doing what they say should be a trap game. We're doing belts to ass. We're winning by 3+ scores in every single one of them.
Yeah, I'm not picking the Bears the rest of the year. The easiest game they have, the easiest is San Fran. The easiest one. Seattle.
Wait, isn't that crazy to say that now?
Yeah, it is.
That San Francisco, with how they've been the last 7 years historically, that they're the easiest team on anybody's schedule the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we've all played our easy teams. We've all played the Jags. We've all played the Colts. We've all played the Titans. Who's the only team in the NFC North that's gone undefeated versus the AFC South? The Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the only one that hasn't lost to an NFC West team yet? The Lions. The only one we got left is the 49ers. Do you realize if we win that game in San Francisco week 17, this is the second year in a row that the Lions were the only team out of the North to sweep the outside the division opponent. And I don't think a lot of the fans have grasped that. That's how good the Lions have become.
Thank you, Brent.
Sarah,
Yeah,
I'm not picking the Packers. I'm not picking the Packers. I'm picking against Tua. So we've already swept one division, and we're one win away from sweeping the other. And if they keep playing and losing players the way they are, I don't expect the 49ers to beat the Lions. And we might have enough of a lead by then that we don't even have to play the starters versus the Vikings. But you know what the problem is? Dan Campbell has said, I will play my starters every game through week 18 because I do not want that rest or rust problem if we're a number one seed. Congratulations, Sarah. Yes, and a lot of the pundits, the experts are saying that the Lions are the best team in the NFL. It's not just Lions fans saying it. And that's
Nope.
where other fan bases lose their minds. Yes, if we lose, there's a chance we lock in the playoffs tomorrow. If there's 6 different losing cases for other teams outside the Lions, if they lose, we're automatically in. But if we win, we're in. That's the biggest thing.
You guys are saying we like you're part of their payroll.
Yeah, I say we because we're Lions
Yes,
fans.
so do I.
We've been waiting. I've been waiting 46 years now for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You've been waiting since 85 for the Bears to get back to this type of level of play, correct?
And I was 9 years old. Yep.
And I'm not trying to be a dick about it.
No, it's
That's
true.
what
It's
I'm getting at.
It's facts.
Because
it seems like I've been waiting 46 years for an offensive line and a quarterback.
Well, yeah, because you didn't have one in 84. You had an offensive line, but you didn't have a QB.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim McMahon, he wasn't lighting up the stat sheet, guys.
Well, do you know when with all the concussions that he had, when he leaves his house, his wife has to plug in a GPS to get home. That's a true fact.
I know.
Jeez.
She has to save the address in his Google Maps or Siri or whatever to make sure.
And even though Walter Payton's not here, he's still pissed off that he didn't get that touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Right.
They gave it to Perry.
Yeah. Congratulations, Donkey Kong. You know what? We haven't dealt with this throughout history. And is there merit to it? Maybe. But at the same time, we got to stop with these conspiracy theories because Goodell came to watch the Lions beat the Colts. He was on the Lions sideline, not the Colts sideline. You know how huge of a difference that is compared to the past? He used to come to our Thanksgiving games and sit with the opposing team. What does that tell you about what Goodell thinks about the Lions lately? Because lately when he's there, he's on the Lions sideline during the game. So there's some culture shifting that's even happening with the higher ups in the NFL. "313 Hug Boss or Thug Boss." There it is. Okay, 11-1. Let's go, damn it. Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we're expecting.
The Thug Boss, is that what, the 8 Mile? No.
Could be.
Is that Pawn Stars?
No, it ain't Pawn Stars. Pawn Stars are in Vegas. You're talking about
hardcore porn.
Yeah, hardcore pawn.
Pawn, yeah. What did I say? Porn? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the viewers.
Yeah, that's okay. I know what your phone said on the next to you there.
Yeah. No, we, we gotta pay. We gotta pay for Pornhub now. I forgot. No.
Since when?
Yeah. So tomorrow at 12. It's
I must be grandfathered in. I still get it free. But anyway,
um it's I don't even know what to say. I look forward to Bears playing on Thanksgiving because it's always a good game, but
one.
I really think that it's not going to be a good game tomorrow.
Oh, not a conspiracy theory. Goodell has hated the Lions for years due to the Thanksgiving game. He's only on board now because of Sheila, and that's what I was getting at. This all started the first year when we were bad. Goodell started being on the Lions sideline for games because of Sheila and her attitude and her drive and her competitiveness. But it is getting to that time of the show where what do you expect the score to be tomorrow?
Well, I'm going to say 34-13 Detroit.
I actually went way more conservative than that, and I gave you guys some credit because you do have a decent running game. So, basically, before the games tomorrow, Sarah, I think it's 31-24. We win by 7. Bears cover, but the Lions win.
I don't think we're getting. We have so much trouble scoring.
I understand, but I just know that divisional games, teams play us tough. The Vikings played us tough. The Packers played us tough for a minute. A minute at the beginning and a minute at the end. But anyways. But I love it when they say, well, we beat the snot off you at the Thanksgiving Day game and it was a 7-point win when all's said and done.
You too, Jim, as well, you and your family.
I hope everybody has a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Tune in tonight as we do the NFL Roundtable Talks. But it is that time where I'm going to let my guests decide. Do I start at the top or the bottom for the division ranking?
I probably know your rankings, but start from the bottom.
All right. On the bottom, playing us tomorrow, it's Fuck the Bears. God, that looks like it would be painful the way he's doing it. I'd have him on the other side of the seat. But anyway.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a rape there, but it might be. If you put a Detroit guy there, that might, fit in just
make
fine.
It even funnier. Yep. But
absolutely,
at the same time, they are 4-7 and 0-2 in the division, which is why they are sitting at the bottom. Fuck the Packers, who are 1-2 in the division. 8-3 overall, but third place. Or as Brent likes me to say it, FTP. And of course, sitting at 9-2, second place in the division, 2-1 in divisional play. Because they skull fuck the Bears. It's the Vikings.
Yep.
And number 1 and still kings of the North, 10-1. Let's make it 11-1. It is the Lions because they are 2-0 in divisional play. Let's sweep the division, guys. Let's do it. But at least, when I say stuff, I say, let's hope, let's do, let's that, not we are. There's a big difference in those statements.
Don't say we are, then I think you're from Penn State, and I don't like Penn State either.
Yeah, I don't like Penn State at all.
Nope.
I'm a Michigan man, so you know who I loathe. And it isn't even Michigan State. I only hate Michigan State when we play them.
There you go.
But it is time for me to give homage to my sponsor, which is Brandon Service at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at $45 and up, depending on size and condition. If you need new tires, please call 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or myself. New tires are delivered within 1 to 2 business days. All prices include mount, balance, and installation on vehicle. Mention this ad, you will get a discount. I want to say thank you very much, Woody, for hopping in. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to invite Woody.
Yep, my day off today, and come join me tonight, and you can see me go off and hear me go off on House Hall Report, 8 p.m. I can say it, Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, isn't that great? Because I follow that show with the NFL Roundtable Talk. And seeing as how our game is tomorrow, the Lions pregame show is going to be immediately following it because I don't have anybody after me. So I can stay on as long as I want.
There
We
you
might
go.
be on to midnight. Who gives a shit?
Right.
But I want to thank you again. Bears, I wanted Caleb to be everything they said they'd be. And if you look, he kind of is, but it's everything else around him. And I'm not talking about the weapons that is the problem. It's coaching in the O-line.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be a dick. Do you agree with what I just said?
Yeah, he's making some rookie mistakes too. Last week he had Roma Duze wide open and he overthrew him. And Roma Duze is a big guy, tall guy, and he didn't even jump for it.
Right.
So he's making his rookie mistakes, but overall, O-line coaching, new offensive coordinator. So
And at least he wasn't airmailing it like Aaron Richardson in his second year for the Colts versus the Lions last week. Because, good Lord, he was throwing it 20 yards over guys' heads.
yeah,
They haven't been that bad, but yes, he's been airmailing stuff. But if you're gonna airmail something, that's what you're supposed to do. Miss deep, not shallow. Don't throw it at people's feet. Throw it over their head, where usually the defenders are not.
yep, absolutely.
So that's another reason why Caleb only has 5 picks on the year. And I said he probably wouldn't lead in interceptions. I said what he will lead in is sacks taken, and he's still number 1 in the league.
Oh yeah, he is. Oh yes, he is.
But try every day to be a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat and the former DJ slash GM shop worker, my dad, Smoking Dad, pops into the chat, and that's why I do this song for him. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy your turkey day and tune in tonight to Hollis Hall at 8 and NFL Roundtable Talk 9 p.m. They all go right here on this channel because Bears aren't afraid to go into a Lions channel any more than I'm afraid, because that's why I added every single Bears channel that I could in there, because I wanted Bears fans to see that I will bring a Bear fan on my show.
I'm not afraid of anybody.